Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Maria Gonçalves podcast. I am your host, Maria Gonçalves, and today we have a special guest all the way from Netherlands, Jolanda. So, welcome, Jolanda.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you that you give me the opportunity to be online. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you. And Jolanda, can you tell everybody your last name? Because I can't pronounce it properly.
My last name is Geraerts,
Okay,
and I know it's a little bit difficult to announce it. So
but it's
it's
so,
Jolanda Geraerts.
you know what? But it's so beautiful when you say it. So I know I couldn't do it justice. So I love it with the accent when you said it was beautiful. So thank you.
You're welcome.
And for those that are listening, Jolanda is a trance medium, a healer, and a professional teacher. So she teaches her students trance mediumship, and she's also developing her physical mediumship. So,
Yes,
and she has a home circle for physical mediumship, correct?
that's correct. Yes.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
for people that are wondering, because I know this is a big topic, what is the difference between trance medium and physical medium?
Physical mediumship has to do with the ectoplasm. And to create the ectoplasm, you have to sit for many, many years. And everybody, no, not everybody, but there are people who have a certain, I don't know the really English word, but have a special kind of material inside of the body. And when it comes together with the energy of the spirit, the ectoplasm takes place. But it takes many, many years to involve it, and all kind of things can happen. Like the trumpets that can play in the air, little children that walk around, or people materialize because ectoplasm can materialize all kind of things. And that's why it takes many, many years, and you have to sit every week with a home circle, so you feel yourself in a very safe environment. And that's the most important thing, that you, the people who sit in the home circle, get a certain kind of bound together, and you trust each other, but also the spiritual world. So, and that's one of the most important things for me, because the medium has to sit every day just to develop and to surrender, because that's the most important thing. Because when you sit in the silence and the spiritual world comes closer to you, sometimes you're not aware of what is happening. So when they lift you with your chair, you still have to be in the trance state, and you're not aware what the spiritual world is doing with you. So that's why it takes such a long time to go as deep in the silence that you're not aware of everything that's happening around you.
So that's
So
for physical mediumship.
that's for physical mediumship.
So,
For the trance, it's
yes.
different.
So for physical medium, so let's start with physical mediumship because I'm so curious about that. I have never witnessed a medium doing physical mediumship. So have you?
I have. I've been several times with Scott Milligan,
Oh,
and I was very happy I had the opportunity to be with the seances. I also been a few times with David Thompson, but most of the time with Scott Milligan. And it's really stunning the things that happen. And the first time I was over there taking part of the seance, so many things were happening, and you heard little children playing around and playing with toys. But it's full darkness,
okay.
because ectoplasm has to be in dark. Sometimes after many, many years, a little bit of light is allowed, but not with every medium. but and a lot of music was playing, and really little children came with the hula hoop, you know, the round
Yeah.
thing, and they touched us. But you also saw there was a plate with a kind of paint of neon, the neon light, and you saw the little hand of the child in top of the plate. So you could see the little hand, and it was so wonderful. But the very first time you see and hear so many things that you think, oh my God, what is happening? So it took a few days afterwards to give everything a place because it was really stunning. Even now, even though I've been to many, many seances, every time it's different. And every time you are aware of more and more other kind of things. So it's really beautiful. So if you have the opportunity to go to Scott Milligan, I would say please try to go to the seance because there aren't many physical mediums anymore at this moment. They will come, but it takes time.
I was going to
So,
ask you that because I know there's a lot of fraud out there. So
oh yes,
true, real physical mediums, there's only a handful, correct? That we
yes,
know of, right? Because I'm sure there
yeah,
are mediums, physical mediums tucked away in countries that are not on social media that are just as gifted. We're just not aware of them. So with physical mediumship, okay, that is going to be on my bucket list because I keep hearing about Scott Milligan and physical mediumship. I did hear that he used to come to the US, but I haven't seen anything. So I live in Canada. And I thought, oh, if he ever comes to the US, I'll go see him. But
he's also coming to the Netherlands.
oh, he's going to the
So
Netherlands? Nice.
yes, in November. And there will be a retreat with also Dominic. He's a mental medium, and also me who will teach. But also there will be the seance because Kat isn't doing that much seances anymore because it takes a lot of your body. Yeah,
Yeah.
it takes a lot of energy
Oh,
and
wow.
also physical. It
So
costs a lot.
are you hosting that for November?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So I am going to put up the information on the podcast and on the YouTube so people can reach out to you if they want to sign up.
Ah, thank you. That's
If there's
nice.
still room, because that sounds
Yes,
amazing. So for those of you that
it
want to
is.
true physical mediumship and you want to go on holidays to the Netherlands, or maybe you live out there,
And it's a
contact
really
Rhonda.
beautiful environment because it's in an old castle.
Oh,
And a lot of peacocks are walking around, and there's a lot of water, and it's really, really nice. A beautiful environment. Yes.
so
But
with
also because there are different kinds of mediumship, like the physical, the trance, the mental, and also drawing, because Josephine Mackenzie is also coming, and she's, how do you say it, an artist,
spirit
uh,
art.
a spirit artist. So that's, and she's really teaching very well. Even though if you can't draw, at the end you are drawing and give a lot of information to the one who's sitting in front of you. So that's really amazing. Really,
Oh,
all
wow.
kind of things.
That
Yeah.
sounds amazing. So for physical mediumship, just because I'm curious and I've seen things on YouTube. So the room is dark, correct? Like
Yes.
everything is dark and everybody is giving their energy to the physical medium. And then
Mhm.
is the physical medium in a box or no?
The physical medium is in, as we say, in a cabinet. It's a
Like,
kind of box with a
yeah.
curtain in front of it. And there's also a lot of music playing because the music and the singing is necessary to build up the energy for the medium, but also for the spiritual world. And that's also very important because most of the time we always speak about the medium, but the medium and the spiritual world are one because they need each other.
Yeah.
They give and they take. And that's something we most of the time we forget. We only think most of the time we take, or we have to give to the medium. No, we also have to give to the spiritual world because we have to give them the opportunity to work with us.
Yeah.
And so it's for the both. And the medium also has to be tied up in the chair. It's
I
not
was gonna ask.
necessary,
Yeah.
but it's because of the fraud. And that's why there is so much fraud. Many mediums say, oh, I don't have to be tied up. No, of course not, because then they can walk around when it's dark. So I always say, just for your own safety, tie yourself up and let there always be a checker or two checkers who can check up in the meantime. And the spiritual world will say to the one who is sitting next to the cabinet to turn on the red light so the independents can check if the medium is still tied up. So, and that's very important just to allow the medium not to be a fraud
Oh,
because that's what's happening a lot.
so
And
the
that's a pity.
that is unfortunate. That is
Yeah,
unfortunate. That's why I think training is so important,
yeah.
to be trained properly. Like I'm an evidential medium. I know you're an evidential medium. Like that training, that's important instead of
Yeah.
mash. And sometimes you could pull, like for a reading, you pull it psychically out of somebody and say it's mediumistically, but it was actually a whole psychic reading. So yes,
Hmm.
training is really important for mediums to know the difference. But I do want to ask because you said red light. So for trance, there's always a red light?
No, not for the trance, but for the physical mediumship.
Yes, physical mediumship. There's
Yeah.
the red light.
Trance, yeah, for the trance you can sit in light, but I always prefer to sit in the darkness because I always say when we were in the belly of the mother, we were also in the dark, and it makes us feel comfortable. When we are asleep, most of the time, for the most people, it's dark because we are less aware of the things that happen around us. So we feel more comfortable and safe, and it's more quiet. It's
Yeah.
more quiet. Yeah.
I like how you
So,
said that, being in your mom's belly
yeah,
as a soul before you walk the earth and
yeah.
the darkness. So then the red light is used specifically red light. Like people can't use a blue light, an orange light, like it has to be a red light, correct?
From many, many years ago, they used the red light. Now, these days, there are people who say, well, you also can use the blue light. Well, I always say that's up to them.
Okay.
But the red light, um, I don't know a lot about light,
Okay,
but
I
they
know nothing.
say it has also something to do when you are military in the evening, the light they use is also infrared because it has
Oh,
a certain kind of, I don't know what, but that's
it's got techie stuff we don't understand, but it's all good.
no, yeah, okay, yeah.
I love that. So how long do you sit? Like, do you sit like I know like sitting in the power, I do like half an hour. So when you sit for physical mediumship, is it an hour a day? Is it half an hour a day?
Most of the time I sit for 1 hour a day. Then I also, when I'm teaching, I also sit in the silence. I also sit in the power. And that's what I really uh, love to do, to sit in the silence, just to connect with the spiritual world, because we have to become one. And that's also at that moment when we sit in the silence, we give the spiritual world the opportunity to speak to us. Because we always say, well, I don't hear anything and they don't talk to me and blah, de blah, de blah. But when I ask, okay, but what have you done this day? Well, I went to work, I did the grocery, and I was cleaning the house and all kind of stuff. And I asked them, but how many time did you spend with spirit? Well, today I didn't have any time. And I said, okay, that's one of the reasons why you can't hear them.
Yeah.
Listen, take time. It's the same like when you go to your girlfriend or to family, you take the time. When you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is cleaning or wash yourself, brush your teeth. And I always say, sit in the silence, make it your own.
Yeah.
Start the day with sit in silence if it's only for 15 minutes. And even though you have the feeling nothing is happening, there's always something happening inside of you. The soul will open her doors. But it's how do we listen to them? How much do we listen to our soul?
That is
Most of the time we think, ah, it's the mind. But I
yeah.
always say, when spirit is talking to us, it's like this. The mind is always creating a very big story.
Yeah.
And most of the time is to keep you away from the soul, the feeling of the soul.
That was beautiful. I find for myself, I have to sit in the power first thing in the morning. Because if
Mm.
I set the intent, oh, I'm going to do this afternoon, I'm going to get up, I have 100 million things, I won't do it.
No,
The house gets busy, then the phones, then the emails, then work, then like everything, and you never have time for spirit. And then I also notice once you sit in the power daily, you become addicted to the quiet. Like I love it. I love the
yes,
quiet and that blending with the spirit world. It's just, it's so peaceful. And then the one thing I've noticed for myself now, because I'll sit in the power first thing in the morning, then I have two little doggies I walk. So, but they're so slow. Like one's a Pomeranian, so he's 5 pounds. The other one's like a little Yorkie. She's 10 pounds. So they got tiny little legs. They walk very, very slow. And we got to smell every blade of grass. And I noticed in the past couple months when I'm walking, I could feel spirit walking with me now because
yes,
it's almost become meditative with my we walk like at 7 in the morning. It's like hardly anybody's out. The city hasn't woken up yet. It's really nice and quiet. And there's this peace. And I
yes,
find if you want to hear spirit, you got to be quiet,
yes. Yeah,
right?
that's why I always, the first thing I do in the morning is sit in my own cabinet. But even if you don't have a place, just make it your own to put a chair somewhere in a room, in a space, and say every time you sit on it, it's your moment. And the first thing I always do is a prayer. Not a prayer like in church, but
Yeah,
just a prayer to speak to them, to say, welcome, my friends, and to give them the opportunity to work with you, but also to ask, what do they need to work with you? And then just sit in the silence. And I know many times there are a lot of thoughts coming because what do I have to do today? Blah, blah, blah. And that's okay because sometimes spirit is using your mind to keep you away so they can work from the other side with you and you become one.
yeah,
And sometimes it helps to just visualize that you are in a kind of cocoon
yeah,
so that it's your own place, your own moment. But that's important. Like you were saying just a few minutes ago, I always sit in the morning because I always have an excuse otherwise not to sit in silence. And
yeah,
why? Because we all find it very important to do all kind of things for other people, but not for ourselves. And how nice would it be if we could say to the other people, you know what? Tomorrow or after a week or after a month, you are the first one. But now I made a promise with my friends from the spirit world, and I have to keep a promise because that's important.
Oh, I
Promise the spirit world, I will sit with you every week or 3 or 4 times a week, and that's our quality time.
yeah.
Make it your own. No excuses anymore.
That is so true. And then I will hear mediums just for like mental mediumship, doing evidential mediumship, and they will complain, why don't my readings flow? And it's like, are you sitting with spirit every day? No, I don't have time. I'm like super busy. And I'm like, and that's why your readings are the way they are. Like sit,
Yeah,
meditate, get quiet, listen, because it's
yes.
the listening
And
that you hear.
the most beautiful thing with mental mediumship, and I understand what you say because I also know mental mediums who say, I don't need to sit in the silence. And I said, okay, that's your opinion. That's
Yeah.
fine with me. But we are used to work as mental mediumship with you have to know, is it a man or a woman? Yes, of course you have to know
Yes.
that, but most of the time they are saying, well, I have man over here and he's wearing a blue suit and this kind of shoes, this kind of hair, blah 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 blah. And I always say, I know what my father was wearing, but I want to feel my father. When
Yeah.
you talk about him, I want to feel his energy. I want to feel the power. I want to feel his love.
Yeah.
And it's so easy because when you are sitting in the silence, you are aware of the spiritual world and you feel them. You feel the touch, you feel the cold when they are coming closer. And when you are doing the mental mediumship in a light state of trance, they will let you feel physically what they had in their life when they were still living.
Yeah.
You can feel the leg that hurts, you can feel the heart or the mental thing in the head, and that's much easier. You just have to say what you feel, what they let you feel, and you
Yeah.
only have to say it because then you give them the opportunity to say what they want to say to the loved one who is sitting in front of them, not what we expect to say, but
Yeah.
what they want to say, what they want to talk about. And how lovely is that? How beautiful is that?
Oh, it's my favorite. It's I think with the training, it's getting yourself out of the way,
Yes,
right? It's like
that's it.
99% of the training is surrender and get yourself
Yes,
out of the way. And then also remembering it took a lot of energy for them to come there. And what an honor it is to represent that person's loved one for that moment in time. So get out
yeah,
of the way and let them talk and let them share what they need to share. Because it's always so
yeah,
beautiful. I always get chills and tears, and I'm like, because you can feel the love that their loved one
yes,
has for the person in front of you. It's
yeah,
like grace from heaven. It's so beautiful. So
yeah.
when you talk about trance, so for people that are listening, because we talked about physical mediumship and being in the cabinet with a curtain and how that works for the medium. And it takes years and years and years of training for people that are listening. You can't do it in 6 weeks. It's not gonna
No, not at all. And it's not for everybody. Also, because many people think, oh, I sit for the physical mediumship, but not everybody can sit for the physical mediumship. So,
yeah. Because it's hard on your body, correct?
also, it's because it's not without any danger, because ectoplasm can't stand light.
Yeah.
So there are things happened with the medium when someone put on the light because it can give burns on the body,
Oh,
um, but also it can damage a lot of the physical medium. Like sometimes it happens that someone, how do you say it, died because someone turned on the light because the medium is very vulnerable. Do I
yeah.
say it correct?
Yes. Yes, you
Yes,
said it correctly.
at that moment, because it's like the medium is out of control.
Yeah.
And even though the spiritual world will always take care of the medium and will say that there will be danger in the area around, sometimes still things are happening.
Yeah.
So people always say, oh, I want to be a physical medium, but they are not aware of all the other things around it. And
I've always heard that from mediums that are aspiring to be physical mediums. And they'll be
mm,
like, I really need to think about it because it is going to take a toll on my physical body, whatever that is, because it depends on the person, like you said, and some have more ectoplasma than other. I didn't know that. I find that super interesting. So again, for people that are interested, train with somebody professional.
yes, really.
Yeah.
And we are human, and you see a lot of things, all kind of mediumship, and we say, oh, I want to do the trance art, or I want to do the writing, or mental mediumship, or whatever. But I always say it's not up to us. It's what does the spiritual world wants to do with you. Because everybody is different. If I would say, oh, I want to draw in trance, and okay, that's very nice if I want it. But if my spirit friends say, yes, Yolanda, that's very nice, but we think it's better for you to go into the trance
Yeah.
and do trance speaking or transfiguration or whatever, then my path will go more and more to the way they want that's necessary. And
Yeah.
that's just allow them to give the freedom and trust and believe in the path that we walk.
Yeah.
Don't fight against it. We
I
won't win.
agree. It's true. Do you know, years ago, I wanted to be wanted to be a trance medium and go very deep. And I was like, that's what I'm gonna do. So I had a spiritual assessment at Arthur Finley, like online, and the medium's like, no, you're an evidential medium. You're gonna do these types of readings. And I was like, no, I want to be trance. She's like, you're not a trance medium. So me being very stubborn and not wanting to listen to her, I signed up for a trance class for 3 months. I was so bored. Like it was not bored. I couldn't do it. That's it. And I was so fidgety. And she said I would be fidgety. She goes, you have too much energy. Like you can't sit still. She's like, you're gonna do more like gallery readings, platform readings. She's like, that's the type of medium you are. And I was like, no, I'm not. I'm not one of those. I'm a trance medium. And everybody in the class was amazing. And the medium that gave me the reading, she was absolutely right. She's like, you're not like, I couldn't do it. Like, I just couldn't calm my mind down to do it. So you're right.
Yeah.
Like, spirit already knows where you're going and trust and don't fight it. Cause I am that medium that's going to fight and I'm going to be,
Yes.
no, you're wrong. I'm going to try it anyways. And then I
Mhm.
learned the hard way and be like, yeah, okay, spirit, gotcha. This is not
Yes.
for me.
And you know what? Maybe now you're not a trance medium, but maybe through the years
Yeah.
you become a trance medium. Who knows?
But I
But
do,
now it's this
yeah,
kind of, and mediumship, we have all kind of names for mediumship. We
yeah,
also have all kind of names for healing, but
yeah,
it's all one energy.
that's
It
true.
comes all from one energy,
That,
one source.
yeah,
Yes.
it's, yeah, it's because it's a surrendering because you were talking about the trance and being lighter trance, and then where you go deeper into trance. So can you talk about that? Like what's lighter? So mental mediumship's a lighter trance.
Mental mediumship is most of the mental mediums, they start psychic,
Yeah.
and then the spiritual world comes closer and they work with the medium. The trance mediumship, got all kind of this different uh, kinds of mediumship, like writing. You also have the overshadowing, you got trance speaking, and some people just sit in silence because it's the beginning of something else that will grow. So you have all kind of difference. And I always say, whatever people say to you when you sit in trance, you have to feel this or you have to feel that. Some people say, I don't hear anything at all. You
Yeah.
know, it's how does it feel for you to feel yourself comfortable. That's the most important thing. And don't compare with somebody else because everybody is unique.
Yeah.
Everybody is unique. And everybody takes his own step, step by step. And that's the same like people say, "Ooh, I'm doing already transmediumship for 20 years. Oh, you're just a beginner." And I say, why are you saying this? What's the important thing of saying this? Because maybe you take classes just for the first time,
Yeah.
but many, many years before, when you didn't have classes, maybe you were already sitting in silence, but it was normal the way you were acting. Like when children are small, they are still connected with the spiritual world. They see, they hear a lot. But through the years, it slowly disappears. And some of us, they are still connected with them. And they hear a lot, or they see a lot, feel a lot, but they don't take classes, but they
Yeah.
still feel and hear, but
Yeah.
it just has no name.
Yeah.
And in this world, people need to give it a name, or how do you say it, a certificate,
Yes.
like a diploma.
Yes.
I always say a diploma for me means nothing. Why? Because I still have to learn. And the diploma doesn't mean anything without spreading your wings. You
Yeah.
still have to learn, and we learn till the last breath of our life. Every day we learn and listen and look around us. The most important thing.
That is the most important thing, is not the piece of paper, it's the time you spend with spirit and learning. And
Yes,
and I know with the trance, I will one day go back to it because I was like, didn't work out first time. Doesn't mean it's not gonna work out the second time. But I will say, because I just signed up for a meditation actually for tomorrow, and it's just sitting in silence. And I'm like,
yes,
I love that with a group of people. And it's not for trance, it's just like a silent meditation retreat. And I'm so
yes,
excited about being in the quiet because I know the quiet will develop my mediumship even more
yeah,
and allow me to blend deeper with spirit. And I know other people that are going on this retreat, they're not mediums. I think I'm the only medium, but their soul is craving the quiet so they can connect to source and
yeah,
leave a more spirit-led life for themselves, whatever that looks like. So I find that fascinating too, because quiet is
yeah.
important and our soul
Quiet is
craves it.
important, and that's why it's so important to sit in the silence and listen to your soul. What
Yeah.
does it want to tell you?
Oh,
And listen, just listen to the silence inside of us
yeah.
because it tells you a story that's necessary for your life, the way we have to walk, and allow yourself to walk that way without any excuses.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. and without judging yourself. I can't do this. No, you can't do it now, but you will try to do it. It's
Yeah.
just to look the other way around, not saying I can't do this, but I can't do this now or not yet, but I will do my best. So you keep it open
Yeah.
and give yourself the opportunity to listen or to learn.
I love that. I think too and this is just from my experience, right? On this journey, I like to try out different types of mediumship because I think it's
Yeah,
important. It's like, go try this, bring out your inner child and just have fun. Go try the
yes,
trance, different levels. Go try the inspirational. I did one with Simone Keys and it was inspirational speaking, and I loved that. And I was like, yes, this is fun. You have to
yeah,
find what's fun, what lights you up, what excites your soul, and just
yeah,
try different types of mediumship out there or
yeah,
healing or inspirational drawing. So I want people to take away, like, you don't have to just do one and stay there. It's okay to try different things. And like you said, what does your soul want? Trust your
yeah.
soul, trust the nudges from spirit, and go where you want. So, for people that are starting out on this journey, Yolanda, what would you recommend them to do? So, they're brand new to mediumship and they're like, one day I want to do physical mediumship. Like, where should they start first?
The most important thing is, like I already said, is start by sitting in silence. So you will understand your spirit friends and they learn to know you because you have to become one. And that's the most important thing, to learn from each other. Like Gordon Higgins, when you wanted to take lessons with him, he always said, come back after 1 year when you have sit in silence. Because we have to learn and listen to them, but also the other way around. We have to learn from each other. What do they need? What do I need? And that's the same like we always say, oh, I trust the spiritual world, but I don't trust myself. And I say, how can you trust your spirit friends when you can't trust yourself? Because you are one. When you don't trust yourself, you don't trust them. And someone told this to me, and I went really sad because I thought, yeah, but I really trust them. I love them and they mean a lot to me. So who am I? The moment I say I don't trust myself, I'm also saying I don't trust my best friends.
Yeah.
So then I started to say and think by myself, okay, I trust them, so I have to trust myself. Even though there are still moments that I think, oh, I'm doing this wrong. I can't do this. I can't do that. And then I think, you know, I don't have to do it because they will do it for me. I
Yes.
just have to step aside and give them the opportunity to work with me. And I know it's easier said than done. I know that. But it's a start. But start with sitting in silence and listen to each other. The
Yeah.
same like when you go to your best friends, you take time for them and they take time for you to listen, to learn from each other. What do you need? What do I need?
Oh, that's beautiful. I will say, just listening to, I love the way you speak. I've always loved you. When I met you, in circle like a few years ago in a class, and we were paired up to do readings. So that's how we actually met. And there is such a grace about you and so much
No.
peace, which I loved when I got paired with you because I have the anxiety. It was like, okay, I got Yolanda. Yes, in the breakout rooms, I'm good. But just listening to you uh talking about spirit, and you're talking about them like they're your friends. So for people that are listening, it's not like it's something like woo woo way out there.
No.
It's your friends and how much you love them. I love how you said that. It's like they're my friends and I absolutely love connecting with them every
Yeah.
single day. And it's just, yeah, it's like I hope you guys can feel it or sense it. I can feel the love that you have for your spirit team is so deep. And I know all the other mediums, their love for their spirit team is deep too. But the way you've articulated it is just, it's so beautiful and it's done with such grace. It really is. Like, I think I can listen to you for hours.
Ah, yeah, but it's also they mean a lot to me, even though when I had a lot of problems in life and difficulties, they were always there for me.
Yeah.
So that's why I will always be there for them
Oh, that's,
because they mean a lot to me
yeah.
and they will never disappoint me. The
Yeah.
only one who will disappoint is myself, or I let myself disappointing.
Yeah.
They will never disappoint me. Never. I know just still a short while ago, when I wasn't sitting in silence because things were happening and I really felt guilty and I was crying and I was really angry about myself because I wasn't there for them, even though I was talking through the day with them, but
Yeah.
I didn't took the time just to sit, even if it were 15 or 20 minutes, to sit with them. And I was really angry at myself and I was crying because who the
Yeah.
dot am I not to take time for them because they are always there for me. So that's why they mean so much to me. And
Yeah.
I will always do my best to speak for them and to give them the space and the opportunity to speak in public or whatever. Even though it's very difficult sometimes for me, it was like when we met before that I said, well, I hope you understand me well if my English is correct, but I'm very nervous. But I think, well, I'm doing this for them.
Yeah.
I'm just doing this for them.
I think your
Yeah.
English is perfect, and I
Oh,
love the accent, and I love the sound of your voice. It's so
oh,
peaceful, it's so graceful. I feel like if I went and joined your physical mediumship, I wish I was in Netherlands, because if I was, I'd so be in your circle, uh,
oh,
just to listen to your voice and be in that space, I would think would be so peaceful and so relaxing and connect and feeling that energy of spirit. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm in Canada, but for those that are with you, I feel like they're super fortunate to, and two, for you to have the courage to create that circle, that home circle, because that takes a lot of courage too, I would think.
yes. It's not always easy to have create the home circle. My home circle fell apart already a few times. Even one of the reasons was the corona. Um, but it's very difficult to find the right people. Even though if you are my best friend, it doesn't mean it's okay for you to sit in my circle because you have to sit every week. You have to come every week together just for sitting and giving all your energy and your time for your friends
Yeah,
to build up the energy every week, even though if you have a party going on at home, or even though uh, you are a little bit lazy or something else. No, you have made a commitment, so you have to go every week. And of course, when you are ill, you stay at home, or
yeah,
that's something different. But I always say it's better to have just one person who sits in front of you, who
Yeah,
sits with all the best for you and the spiritual world, than when 10 people are sitting there and 4 or 5 people are sitting there just for ego or just for themselves,
yeah,
because they take the energy instead of giving the energy. So creating a home circle is very difficult, but you have to build up the bond, the friendship with
yeah.
both worlds. So
Well,
that's difficult.
it also sounds like everybody's role in your home circle, every single person's important
Yes,
for that physical medium.
yes.
Yeah,
And the spiritual world,
yeah,
not only the medium, both
absolutely.
worlds,
I
both worlds. And you know, the people who are in the home circle, it's not necessary that they are a medium.
okay.
That's not necessary, because the most important thing is they have to build up the energy,
Yeah,
but they have to be aware of what is happening. So it's very important, the knowledge about the home circle, what's important.
yeah.
So
That just sounds amazing. I want to say thank you so much for spending this time with us and explaining that, because I know so many people are always asking me about physical mediumship and how it works and all the ins and outs. I know nothing. So I'm so grateful that you were here today to help us walk through it. And if people want to know more, I'm going to have Yolanda's information posted on the podcast and on the YouTube channel. So please reach out to her, follow her on social media so you'll know when she has events coming up. Because what are your offerings before we go so people know? Do you offer readings online or is it just in person?
yes, I also do readings online. I just started for a short while online because that was one of my things that I had problems with, to go online. But I know, like I said before, um, sometimes you have to take the next step, and knowing that they are there just to give me the push and say, okay, Yolanda, now it's time to go on Zoom or online or whatever.
Yeah.
And so that's why, since a short while, I also do online, but I also are doing retreats in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And just a short while ago, I always had a retreat also, yeah, in England, together with Scott and Dominic and Josephine. And the next one will be in November. So, and there will more to come. Will be more to come.
Okay, and I will have the information up for the retreat, the link for people to connect with you. So I
Yes.
just want to say thank you so much for spending this time with us. And I know I learned so much, and I hope our listeners and viewers are also enjoying this episode and learning so much along with us. So thank you so much, Yolanda.
Thank you so much, Maria. And really, I hope everybody will take just a short time to sit in the silence for our
Yeah.
friends.
Yes, I
Yes.
love that. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.